Well, that's the time for us to start talking about some of the key concerns. Recall accusations of orchestrated violence and making the rounds as the governorship election petitions tribunal continues sitting in Akwa Ibom State. The YPP candidate has accused the new state government of intimidating witnesses. The state has, however, vehemently denied this. What are the issues here? We take a look. But quickly here, Professor Adeniyi, good to see you. And let's start first by talking about some of the key conversations we had with the CBN. That's a fine one with Dr. Fashua. Yeah. And he got to a point, he said, it's high time the CBN stopped to put itself in controversial circumstances, because if you spoke about social media handle, we're talking about what about the very seniors in the society, and what about those who, of their volition, decide not to be on social media?
Yeah, but I think it's a very complex process. You know, they probably need some more clarification they need to give us some more clarification on what they actually want to do, because it's something that is not practicable. The social media is very nebulous, very, very imprecise space. There are so many cases of cross-posting, multiple posting, identity theft, you know, deep-seated anonymity that you probably cannot place your hand on. And how do you want to identify individuals, you know, just because of one kind of social media or the other? And do not forget, these social media outlets, we have them in millions, just that we have some very popular ones, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, WhatsApp, you know. There are so many other ones, you know. So how many of them are you going to be asking customers to list for you? You know, suppose they use one, you know, cause unknown one, you know, would you expect them to list it? What if they don't list it? How are you going to apprehend them? So what's the motive behind it? I think we need some more clarity, really. It's something that's going to be very difficult to implement. And like I had Dr. Fashua said, whatever they want to achieve by that should have been achieved with BVN, you know. Then, of course, it's either they have been able to see people who are committing crime, you know, using their social media handle, and they think that we should begin to identify ourselves with, in addition to every other means of identification, we should add the social media. You know, so what's the reason behind it, really? It's going to be, I think maybe we should just end it by saying that we need some more clarity, you know, because it's a space that they're going to find it very difficult to navigate, you know. It's going to be an over-regulation, really. I think they should concentrate on some much more serious things. And
some other Nigerians have also said that data collection is, well, we have an overdose of data collection, and that data is flying around the space to the extent that, yes, people seem not to be too safe.
Yeah, so many agencies have one kind of data or the other, and don't forget we're in a country where there's no synergy of data. You know, every organization, every regulatory agency wants to have your data. If we were a little more developed or more careful, we should have been able to synergize this, so one will be sufficient for every other section. And do not forget, we're in a world, we're in an open society, you know, where it's very, very difficult for anyone to hide anymore. You know, so we should probably leverage technology more, you know, and maybe stop making ourselves look ignorant or looking incapacitated, you know, by coming out with some of these rules that should probably have been in existence some 20, 30 years ago. The world has moved on. There are so many evidence to prove that the world is sophisticated, open society. Let's use the technology that other countries are using, you know, to track individuals. You know, you probably be living in the moon or underground, you know, for you not to be caught, you know, with the instrument of with instruments or with technology, as the case could be, you know, because it has become really sophisticated, like I said earlier. Yeah.
You know, that's the eve of July. We're almost in July, and a lot of talk about the elections are still on. And one of the key places in the news lately is Akwa Ibom State, where parties are already talking about the uncertainty in the state, saying that, well, the tribunal should move.
Move to where? I just see some of these calls as maybe...
To Abuja.
I probably see them as just political calls, you know. There's no reason why we should be apprehensive, you know. Akwa Ibom is a state like every other state. You know, if you're asking the tribunal in Akwa Ibom to move, you know, what about those ones, you know, sitting in other states? Are they all going to come to Abuja? Whatever it is, you know, we should keep things where they are and be protective of those institutions. And who is making a call in any case? That kind of concern, that kind of call should be made by the security agencies by the time they think that they can no longer handle the situation in Akwa Ibom. And Akwa Ibom, really, yes, we have had flashes of violence sometimes in the far past. It doesn't come like a crisis-ridden state. It looks more like a very peaceful state. And they have had a history of successful governors, you know, who've done very well for them. And of course, we have a new one, a pastor for that matter, and high expectation, high hopes. I also want him that is going to do well. You know, I think these governors should just be allowed to settle down. You know, and I do not see some of these partisan calls will definitely continue. But we have also made the point severally that after the election, there will be a post-election stage, and the post-election stage is about judicial intervention. Judicial intervention is going on at the federal and at the state levels. So let's be patient with the judiciary, let them do their work. You know, have they said that they are not safe in Akwa Ibom? You know, why is someone else crying more than the bereaved? I think it's a very critical institution, very responsible institution. By the time they think they are not safe, they will let us know. They will let the security agencies know. And from the report I read, you know, the state government probably said that what they are trying to do, you know, they have a responsibility to be protective of all the institutions. And that's what they're trying to do. So if there's any other thing, perhaps they should let us know.
Let's close on this, and it has to do with politics of inclusion and peaceful politicking. Now we're talking about Akwa Ibom. The video that went viral when the governor of Akwa Ibom paid a courtesy call on the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, where Godswill Akpabio specifically said, well, it's a good thing that you're not inheriting someone else's enemy. You know, politics over now. Yes, it was a fine conversation, and it's a fine place for us to close. How can politicians learn not to let their personal grievances make their state or constituencies suffer?
Yeah, first of all, I think that was a very fine one on the part of the governor, you know, because ordinarily we don't expect anything less from him. Do not forget that he's a pastor. And of course, by his public reputation, public disposition, he comes like a complete gentleman, you know, so we expect that to rub off on his style of administration. And of course, when you are at that level, you know, you do not have permanent enemies. You are concerned about the bigger picture, the well-being of your people. And what that means is that very important personalities from that state is not somebody you should outcast. That's what I see him, that's what he probably did by going to meet the Senate President. And of course, the Senate President emerging from a state means a lot for that state, aside partisan interest. So you, as the sovereign of a state, should definitely recognize, you know, another person from your state who is occupying a critical position at the center. So I think it's a good sign of courage on the part of the governor, which I think every other politician can also learn, you know, to emulate. You know, that's what we often refer to as politics without bitterness. You know, if it is about political contestation, it shouldn't lead to war. After all, you know, the ultimate essence of political contestation is leadership for the good of the people, and not for us to be at daggers drawn all the time, or for us to continue to break bones unnecessarily.
It's a fine place for us to say thank you, Professor Abiodun Adeniyi.
My pleasure.